Hello, Mr. Ed. You are up first, sir. Hello.
Hey, Bart, thanks for having me on the call, on the show.
No
Appreciate
problem, my
it.
man. No problem. So you got a hand for us?
Yep, so I have a 2-5 hand out of Playground Poker in Montreal.
Okay, so 2-5 Montreal. What is that? A 1K cap?
So it's actually 200 to 800 cap.
Okay, so 800 max buy-in. Okay.
It's actually a 5% rake up to 16.
hmm
Just curious on your thoughts on our rake structure up here.
Well, I mean, it's high. I put out that video the other day too. I still think that might actually be less than a California drop. Obviously, the higher stakes you go, the worse it is with that type of rake. But if you're playing like a $5 blind game, it still might be better. Of course, the difference between a rake and a drop is the rake is a percentage. So if you have like $20 in the pot, it's 10%. They take two, where in California they take a full seven. So, but yeah, that's hefty, man. That's a hefty rake. But I mean, that's kind of like almost like a home game type of rake. So, I mean, you can calculate out how much it's costing you. You know what I mean? You could just count the pots that you win over the course of a set period of hours and see how much it's costing you. I mean, I would say it's beatable. The game would be beatable, except maybe at the small stakes, you know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. They also take $2 for the jackpot, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's really like 18.
Oh my God.
Yeah, really starts that up. But definitely some good action down at the playground. So
Yep.
kind of makes it worthwhile. But in this hand, it's actually a Monday morning around 10 o'clock. So probably not the optimal time to be sitting in a poker game, but I had the day off work. So, I headed down to the playground, get called for a new 2-5 table, and realized that none other than Jaime Staples is actually sitting at the tables.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember this. Jaime Staples, poker star. That's the brother, right? Is that no? Is that the OG Staples or is that the brother?
Yeah,
Oh, the
he's the
OG.
OG
Okay.
Staples. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know, found that pretty cool. Apparently, he lives in Montreal now, so going to be a tough game. It looks like pretty nitty as far as the rest of the table, but yeah, we're going to get in there. So yeah, I'm about 750 effective to start the hand,
Okay.
and I'm in the under the gun straddle for 10.
Okay. So there's a straddle. Okay.
Yep. So it folds around all the way to Jamie on the button,
Okay.
and he opens it up to 25, and it folds around to me in the straddle with ace of clubs, three of diamonds.
Okay.
So, like I said in the email, like normally this kind of junky ace out of position, I mean, I'm just folding. But I guess me wanting to play a pot with him, plus it's kind of like a min raise plus 5, threw in the 15 here to, see a flop.
And how deep did you say you were?
750.
750
So with the
effective.
straddle, not super deep.
I mean, you are getting incredible pot odds, right? I mean, at this point, I mean, 2-5-10, it's like 15, 40, 15, 45 or something like that, 15 to call, 35, 40, well, 3-1. I mean, yeah, you can definitely make a case for folding here. I mean, it is a 2.5x. These are like some of the really hard hands to realize, like small offsuited aces. I think if you made it any more than this, but it is a button open, so it can be much wider. So okay, so hero calls, right?
Yep. So we're off to the flop. There's 57 in the pot,
Okay.
and it rolls off ace of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, 4 of clubs.
Ace of diamonds, four of diamonds, four of clubs. So you flop top pair. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I start with a check. He continues for 25, and I make the call.
All right. So hero checks, 25, and obviously hero calls. Some in the live chat saying this is a 3-bet or fold. I don't know about that, but again, when the guy goes to 2.5x in the straddle, I mean, it's not like you're getting squeezed behind, but okay. So you call, and now the pot's like what, like 100 or something like that, right?
Yeah, like 107 before the rake.
Okay.
So the turn rolls off the deuce of spades.
Okay.
I check, and he checks back.
All right. So check. So ace 4-4 again. Here has ace 3 off. You pick up a gut shot wheel draw here too, right?
Yep.
And you had a little backdoor diamond too with the 3, but you had a backdoor wheel draw, so you pick it up here on the turn. I mean, he can still have an ace that he's pot controlling, sure. I do like I mean, honestly, if a brick were to come, I would value bet. I honestly would, because I just don't know if when you call ace 4-4, I just don't know if it's going to go like bet, check, bet as a bluff from your opponent. And I would like to try to be like, oh, I missed diamonds. For some reason, too, I see a lot of people, I saw this a lot in Texas. If somebody uses a really small C bet sizing on the flop, now he didn't really make it tiny, tiny. He didn't bet like 10 or 15, but I saw so much floating with garbage from out of position. Like you could bet 15 in his spot with a weak ace, check back the turn, and someone bets the river and you call and they have like 8-9 of clubs. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. So the reason why I bring that up is because it's possible you might get called. But I would be looking to value bet on a brick personally.
Yeah, maybe target a hand like I don't know, like mid pair, like fives to tens or something.
He could call you with king high if he thinks you're floating or you miss diamonds or something like that. But okay, 105 to the river, or probably 100 to the river after the rake.
Yeah, probably more like 95.
Yeah.
But so it rolls off the five of spades. So front door diamonds brick out, and we make a wheel.
Okay.
And yeah, just really thinking what I can get value from. Definitely like an ace that checked back, like you said, that was pot controlling, or maybe try to get some value from like one of those middle pairs. Front door diamonds bricked out, so maybe we can get a crying call from those hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this run out too, it actually favors you in the sense of you actually might get looked up a little bit lighter here now that he thinks that you're never going to just value bet like a single paired ace. I mean, I wouldn't go huge. I might use like sort of blockish sizing, something like that, maybe 40,
That's interesting because I actually did go huge. I bet 125, thinking that when I'm bluffing, I'm going to be getting like the max amount of fold equity against one of those middling pair type hands.
Well, you're definitely polarizing here at 125 to probably a straight, or like you're just bluffing. So it's kind of interesting. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to put myself in his spot. Like, am I heroing you? I would really have to think you're just floating with air. And I would, the most important part of this hand for me, if I was in Jamie's spot, is how big I bet on the flop. And because he went 25, it's kind of in between. It's not super small. Like if he bet 10 or 15 on the flop, I'd be a lot more likely to look you up. So that's kind of what plays into it. But okay, so you take a polarizing sizing of 125. Okay.
Yeah, just really trying to get called by like, a top pair type hand. So he actually goes into the tank for about a minute and then puts in the raise up to 400.
Wow. So button raises to 400. You guys only started with 750. I mean, I just can't. I mean, you're blocking aces full. Obviously, he might have like rivered like fives, right? He could river fives, something like that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, maybe checking back like deuce. I don't think he's checking back like 4-5. That's for sure. You can't fold. I don't think that you can fold here. It just seems to make a bet fold like this when you're blocking aces full just seems, I don't know, man. I've just seen so much weird stuff, especially with a lot of these calls. I don't know if you were considering folding or if you're saying you should jam or something because you only have 350 left or what.
I was just in the moment like trying to think of a hand that he would bluff in this spot, especially after I make it over a pot size bet on the river. And I really had a hard time coming up with the bluffs.
But could he have a 3 though too as well?
Yeah, like maybe like a 3, well, not 3-4, but maybe like a 3-5 suited.
Well, if he's opening from the button, right? He could have like queen 3 suited, king 3 suited, stuff like that, right? So, I mean,
that's a good point.
I mean, I think you can chop some of the time too. I would just have a very, very hard time folding here. I mean, the pot is going to be what, 630, like what, 275 for you to call? Looks like. Yeah. I would call. I mean, I don't love it, but I would still call.
Yeah, I definitely didn't love the spot. I was, not really expecting him to raise there, so it was kind of gross. But I did end up throwing in the call, and we got shown the fives full.
I don't know how Jamie plays. I haven't watched many of his like Twitch streams, and I don't know how much cash he plays and stuff like that. Like I don't know if there's any type of background, but I just find that spot very, very hard to fold. And I think if you ask like any even like higher stakes player, I don't think that they would be bet folding there after that action because it's just check back on turn, right? And it's not like he's like jamming for like 10x. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. I would call here too. The only times I would ever fold is like if it was just like the nittiest of all nits. Like, and I don't think that we knew that about him, right?
No, I mean he is tight, but he's definitely not a nit.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just didn't like the sizing on the river. Didn't like the result, so figured I'd give you a call.
Yep. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call.